Well, let's move on to number 10, and this is whole legacy story. What would you say the legacy of 2006 was going forwards?
Well, it was tremendous. Year on year, the comparison yielded an increase in 31% in foreign tourism, a reduction of unemployment 29%, exports jumped 14%, and civic pride went up. So all these indicators were affected by the positive sentiment that emanated from a great World Cup.
So what would you say are going to be the legacy benchmarks for 2010, and what benefits is the South African economy perhaps going to harness as a result of that?
Well, definitely meeting the target of 10 million visitors, tourists by 2010, definitely reducing unemployment, and definitely using the World Cup as a showcase to showcase South African products and services to the international community.
All right, so we've talked quite a bit about some of the items on the scorecards, and earlier on in the program we saw the challenge of local football vis-a-vis international football, and how international football is taking away a lot. Going back to one of your other scorecards, at the beautiful game Joga Bonito, I'm wondering how African teams can break into the traditional sort of hegemony of European football teams.
Well, I think what is important for 2010, the impetus that's given by hosting it on the African continent. Traditionally, the hosting team has always progressed into at least the semi-finals. So I think there will be a huge amount of passion. If you look at the AFCON Cup that was held in Ghana earlier this year, the teams are playing to win, 99 goals scored, and I think that can make the difference and propel at least one African team into the finals.
Now, Germany suffered a different position to Africa, and South Africa in particular, in terms that Germany was an established country and had already had a tradition of people coming in and out of the country, and it's one of the G7 nations. But did it derive any real economic benefits, in your view, from hosting the 2010 World Cup, the 2006 World Cups?
Well, interestingly, Germany had the highest unemployment stats just before the World Cup, which went down by 29%. The approval ratings for Chancellor Merkel went up by 79%.
Wow.
And for the first time in 38 years, the German government declared a profit.
Wow. So what will we see immediately, do you think, for us in South Africa?
I think we will see a turnaround in sentiment. I think we will see a swing in the perceptions from negative to positive in the media, internationally and domestically, and I think it will do us a lot of good in giving momentum to a lot of projects that are needed to alleviate poverty and really meeting economic targets.
All right, so another look at this benchmark. Are we still doing well, or is there still quite a lot to be done?
Well, in terms of the overall, in terms of the summary, we are currently at 38%. Remember, these benchmarks measure perceptions, and obviously some of them are event-based, such as the game, it's a beautiful game. So as we progress, we should progress closer to the ultimate benchmark, which is 90%.
Okay, well, I'm sure we're going to get there as the days roll on, and we're all starting to anticipate these games as the months tick on. Dr. Nick, always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Peter.